May I come in, sir?
Come in, Karthik.
Good morning,
Have
sir.
your seat.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Thank you.
Karthik, your chair is at a safe distance, so you may remove your mask if you wish to.
Sir, I'm comfortable with the same.
Okay, so
May I keep
remove
it?
your mask once so as to identify your photo.
Sure, sir.
Okay, so you are Jeevani Karthik Nagji Bhai.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, introduce yourself.
Sir, I am Karthik Jeevani. Born and brought up in Surat, Gujarat. I have done my schooling up to 12th in Gujarat itself. Then I did my BTech in Mechanical Engineering from IIT Bombay. I passed out in 2016. And sir, right now I am undergoing training at National Police Academy. I have been allotted Indian Police Service in CSE 2018, sir. And apart from this, my hobby includes photography, sir.
Okay. Karthik, you have been a good student in your school also. Looking at your DAF, and you are trained as a mechanical engineer from such a prestigious institution like IIT Bombay, and our industrial sector is not doing well. So your kind of engineers are actually required in the industrial sector to perform and lead the team of engineers in accelerating our Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign and Make in India campaign. Why you are not there, and why you have left that area?
Sir, as far as it goes about contributing towards industrialization, I think I could equally contribute as an administrator as well, rather than being a mechanical engineer, because being into the engineering field, my scope of work is very limited to a particular field. Whereas if I go into that field as an administrator, I think I could contribute to a lot of other areas like management, human resource handling, and many other areas, sir. So that way I could equally contribute.
Let's say
sir.
you get Bihar cadre.
Yes, sir.
How you will contribute your skills in improving the condition of society and economy in Bihar?
Sir, regarding application of mechanical engineering in contributing towards Bihar, sir, first is agriculture of late is not doing very well in Bihar. So there are many equipments, mechanical equipments like plowers, automatic harvesters, and many other things which I have some knowledge. So I could contribute in that respect, sir. Sir, other than that, there are many health, education, and many other welfare schemes and programs which are going on in Bihar. So I can contribute in improving those using my core knowledge. Like there are concepts like project evaluation and review techniques, critical path method, which are taught in mechanical engineering, which are basically project management skills. So I can help in making those projects a success as well, sir. Other than that, there are many core concepts, sir. As a district collector, like if there are some tendering process are going on in Bihar, so regarding refrigeration, air conditioning a building, or many other areas, sir, over there as well, mechanical engineering knowledge could be useful, sir.
Have you been allotted with the cadre?
Yes, sir.
Which cadre you got?
My home cadre, Gujarat, sir.
Okay, Gujarat. Gujarat is highly industrialized and it is a prosperous economy. What are the social and cultural hazards of economic development?
Sir, regarding social hazards, with economic development, Gujarat has also seen inequality in the society. So there is drastic division of haves and have-nots. So that is one social hazard, like Patidar reservation was a testimony to that, sir. Sir, cultural hazard is because many a times culture gets destroyed, sir, in the process of economic development. Like, for instance, Tata Nano factory was about to come in one protected area forest, sir. So because of that, tribal culture loss happened, where because tribals were displaced. Similar happened with Statue of Unity, sir. So tribal cultural loss happened because the development had to happen, sir. So these are the two social and cultural ramifications of economic development.
Can we design a model of development which is socially inclusive and development?
Yes, sir. Sustainable development is the key towards that, sir. Whereby all the aspects, inclusive development should be the goal, sir. So economic development happens But at the same time, we have to keep these cultural and social principles also in mind, sir. Like EIA process, environment impact assessment. So that is one area whereby social parameters are also taken into consideration while developmental activity is going on, sir. Like what would be the impact of any industrial activity on the society, various communities which is inhabiting the place. So if we implement EIA process in letter and spirit, both the objectives could be balanced, sir.
Okay, Karthik, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Karthik, you are a mechanical engineer and having interest in photography, right?
Yes, sir.
There are few terms used like a photo, image, picture. Is there any difference between these three or are they similar?
Sir, if there is any technical difference, I am not very much sure.
We
Otherwise,
use
these are
like this is a satellite image, but when we talk about personal, it is called photograph. What is the difference?
Sorry, sir. As a layman, I can say something, comment upon this. But if there is any
I
technical
don't want the
difference-
exact technical difference.
Sir, photo is something which we take like portrait photography, landscape photography, which is usually clicked with the help of DSLR camera or mobile camera. Whereas image is something which is 2D representation of any particular feature, sir. It could be like, as you mentioned, sir, satellite imagery could be there. Imagery could be using LIDAR principle also we can get some image. So something like that, sir.
Is there any kind of environmental conditions are required for photography?
Yes, sir. One basic principle, that is adequate lighting should be there. So that is one most important environmental factor.
See, our entire film industry is based on camera only because of shooting of the films. So then how do you see the Mumbai is the good choice for the such kind of industrial location?
As far as environmental factor goes,
Lighting factors, environmental factors, camera factors, shooting factors, why Mumbai should be a good choice?
sir, because there are few things which are important for photography, like there should be good locations.
Right.
So Mumbai has those locations. Like there are imperial buildings during colonial times, like Gateway of India is there.
Okay.
RA forest, so ecological natural forest is also available. Plus it being a tropically located city, so there is also round the clock availability of sunlight. There is not too much cloudy and dark weather in Mumbai, so that is also plus point for photography industry, sir.
Okay. You are from Gujarat, right? Gujarat is a coastal state.
Yes, sir.
And I want to know what cost Gujarat is paying for being coastal state.
Sir, there are certain negative ramifications of being a coastal state. One is disaster vulnerability, sir.
One.
Many cyclones, Oki cyclone, Ashoba, many cyclones.
Got it.
Secondly, cross-border smuggling, sir. Heroines, drugs, many things are smuggled from the coastal states, sir. So that is another thing.
Okay.
One is you need to enforce security at the coastal areas. So additional burden on policing force, sir. That is also one major area of being a coastal state.
Okay.
Sir, cross-border conflict. These are also emerging, as can be seen in Sar Creek area in Pakistan, sir. So over there also heavy deployment of police is there.
Good. Anything else?
Sir, I am able to recall only.
Have
this,
you heard the concept of moon wobbling?
Sorry, sir. I am
No.
not aware of it.
Recently, it has been in news. Since you are a mechanical engineer, I want to know from you how many types of machine are there?
Sir, strictly speaking, machining is conventional and non-conventional. So conventional machines like shaper, lathe, etc., and non-conventional machine like water jet machining, laser beam machines, etc.
And what are the basis of what is the basis of their classification into conventional and non-conventional?
Sir, classification is in terms of source of power which is used as well as the mode of machining, sir.
If gun is a machine, then which kind of machine it would be?
Sir, the earlier classification was strictly in terms of getting the product into the right shape and size. So gun also there are various types. This is a different type of machine, sir. in which there are many types, sir. Manual, automatic, semi-automatic, etc. Sir.
Okay. My last question to you: since you are in service of police, right, and you want to become obviously administrator, what three qualities of yours is not good for police services and good for IS?
Sir, first is I like inclusive studies, like all the multidisciplinary approach. That is what I always like. Whereas policing is very much specialized job, sir. So that is first.
1
quality.
point. Second.
Second is I have the habit of listening others as well, sir.
So in
Whereas
police,
policing is more about dictating your own terms to others, whereas in administration you have to equally focus upon listening others as well as then arriving at a final conclusion.
then
sir.
you should be in police because reform in police, such kind of reforms are required.
Yes, sir, definitely. But at the
Okay,
present
this time
state,
you
how
think
the
so.
things are.
Okay,
I
third
think-
point.
Sorry, sir, I am able to get only 2.
Okay, Karthik. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Karthik,
Yes, sir.
right. Karthik, it is said that democracy is sometimes, to be considered as chaotic and noisy. Sometimes it is also called that too much democracy, it gets slowed down decision-making process, as you were discussing. What do you think? What kind of the other, inputs be given into the democracy so that this decision-making process could be more quick and other sort of the actions could be taken in the pursuance of the said policy?
Sir, first is regarding the hierarchy. There is too much hierarchy in our system, present democratic model. So that needs to be cut down for quicker decision making, sir. Sir, secondly is with respect to empowering institutions. Various constitutional as well as statutory bodies are there in a democracy which are not presently functioning at its optimized strength as well as capacity, sir. Like for instance, our criminal justice system. So many a times cases go up there and it slows down the process. So we need to also reform these institutions.
Since you
as
did
well.
talk about the criminal justice system, there is established practice that police officers has to work in very close cooperation with the lawyers. So recently, Bar Council of India, it has come up with certain codes and etiquettes for the lawyers to be followed. If they do not abide by those laws and the etiquettes, they would be penalized for that, resulting into the either cancellation of their registry licenses or debar from practicing. So what kind of the move that you do see in terms of freedom of expressions in a democracy, when the lawyers they themselves have will be bound enough to make their voices to be heard?
Sir, freedom of speech and expression always comes with the reasonable restrictions, sir. Sir, I am not very sure about this.
Those
code
reasonable
which-
restrictions have been mentioned, or it is at the mercy of the administration?
No, sir, these are clearly delineated in our constitution, sir, under Article 21, Article 19, sorry, sir. So, because, sir, I am not... I am
lawyers
not
lawyers have made an opposition to this, to CJI, Chief Justice of India, about this kind of the rule. Have you gone through this kind of?
Sorry, sir, I am
No,
not
you
aware
couldn't
of this
follow
issue.
that. Anyways, tell me about the kind of the perception shift in South Asia, where the China and the Sri Lanka relations are being, changing, are taking place. The changed narrative, which is taking place in Sino-Sri Lanka relations.
Sir, of late, we are witnessing China and Sri Lanka are coming closer to each other. It can be witnessed through various infrastructure projects, sir, like Hambantota Port and various other infrastructure.
It is an issue with the some language issues, some signboards which had been, inscripted in Sino language, Chinese language.
Yes, sir.
Did you follow that news?
No, sir. This particular no.
Okay, fine, no issues. Recently, we have seen that Prime Minister of New Zealand, she has come up in public in terms of its resistance over the issue of the kind of the raids in the 1970s, which has been exercised against the Pacific people. At the same time, we have also seen that Canadian Prime Minister, he has also constituted a reconciliation commission to in terms of the atrocities which has been committed against the Aboriginal peoples. In India, similar set of activities had been, committed against its own people. What would be the right time when we would be having these kind of either commissions or some acknowledgement that we have committed some wrongs against our own people? How long we should take?
Sir, I think the previous two situation and the situation in India are totally different, sir. Like in case of New Zealand, these raids were conducted in Oceania region, that is on different people. Whereas here, these are not atrocities which are conducted by the government, sir. Rather, the
The
atrocities
kind of
are,
the news which comes from the Chhattisgarh or the Jharkhand, the violations of the tribal people or somewhere northeastern people. We have seen you are in police department.
sir,
Those
but,
people are not far away. These people are Indian people, very much Indian.
sir, but these are not some rogue elements in society have committed such atrocities against tribal
So you do
people.
not accept that anything wrong which has been committed against its own people.
Sir, various things are being committed, but it is not as if the police department is after them. Certain rogue elements within police are behind those activities. So
I didn't take the name of the police itself.
sir, for that matter, any security agency or any administrative staff. So it is not right on the part of government to apologize for activities of certain elements within departments, sir.
All right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Karthik, recently some international media reports like Reporters Without Borders and few more have criticized to our PM on media's freedom. Do you find any reality in this criticism?
Yes, sir. I do believe that there is some ground into it, because we are seeing many a times that freedom of media is being violated, sir. Like media persons are not adequately provided protection, as was witnessed during Northeast Delhi riot or CAA riots. Similarly, many a times sedition cases as well as UAPA cases are being registered against media persons. And also there is a nexus going on between politicians, media houses and corporate houses, sir. So that also to some extent takes away the freedom of media, sir. So definitely there is a cause of concern, sir.
Okay. Suppose you have been made Prime Minister of India for some days. Which two works of our current Prime Minister you would like to change, modify or alter, whatever?
Sir, one is regarding policy towards Jammu and Kashmir, and another is regarding our how to get economy back on track after pandemic, sir. So
Okay, what
are
will
the
you
two.
do in Jammu and Kashmir?
Sir, in Jammu and Kashmir, I think we should move towards political dialogue. Although it has been promised, but we should fasten up the pace, sir. Like all party meetings should be regularly conducted. Legislative assembly should be, election towards that should take place as early as possible. And sir, many developmental initiatives although have been announced, but those have not been reflected on ground as of yet. So to fasten up that process, that also I as a Prime Minister would have looked into.
Okay. What do you know about renowned photographer Danish Siddiqui?
Sir, Danish Siddiqui was recently killed by Taliban while covering up news between struggle between Afghan forces and Taliban. He has been Indian, educated in Jamia Millia Islamia, and he has been photojournalist associated with Reuters since past many years, sir.
Very nice. Are you equally comfortable with Hindi also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are currently आप अभी IPS हैं. आपका मुख्य काम होता है कि आप लॉ एंड ऑर्डर को मेंटेन करें. मान लीजिए कहीं आपको ऑर्डर मेंटेन करने के लिए लॉ को कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना पड़े, तो क्या आप करेंगे?
No, sir, because
हिंदी में जवाब दीजिए.
नहीं सर, क्योंकि किसी भी एक सिविल सर्वेंट का जो सबसे पहली चीज़ जो हमें ट्रेनिंग में भी सिखाई जाती है कि भारत का बंधारण और लॉ वो दो ऐसी चीज़ है कि जो किसी भी हालत में आपको ब्रेक नहीं करना चाहिए, चाहे कैसी भी इमरजेंसी या कैसी भी सिचुएशन हो, सर.
चलिए मैं आपको एक हाइपोथेटिकल सिचुएशन देता हूँ. आप मान लीजिए हरिद्वार में एज ए IPS पोस्टेड हैं, वहाँ पे आप SP हैं, वहाँ पे कुंभ का आयोजन चल रहा है और बहुत ज़्यादा भीड़ है. लॉ को लोग वायलेट कर रहे हैं, ये आप देख रहे हैं, लेकिन जो वहाँ ऑर्डर है, जो वहाँ व्यवस्था है, अगर आप उस लॉ को अप्लाई करेंगे तो हो सकता है उसके वजह से बहुत कैजुअलिटी हो जाए. ऐसी कंडीशन में आप क्या करेंगे? जैसा कि हमने देखा भी
सर उसके लिए अगर ऑर्डर मेंटेन करना है कुंभ मेले जैसी सिचुएशन में, तो भी लॉ में ही एडेक्वेट प्रोविजंस दे के रखे हैं कि जिसका यूज करके हम ऐसी स्थिति को काबू में ला सकते हैं सर। जैसे कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति बिना मास्क के घूम रहा है या फिर कोई ग्रुप में क्राउड में है, तो हम डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट है, एपिडेमिक एक्ट है, सेक्शन 107 है सीआरपीसी का।
सारे एक्ट्स हैं, लेकिन हमने देखा कुछ और है। मेरे ख्याल से आप भी इन न्यूज़ को आपने भी गौर किया होगा। और अगर मैं आपसे एक बात पूछूं कि ऑर्डर के लिए लॉ है या फिर मतलब प्रायोरिटी आप किसको देंगे, लॉ को या ऑर्डर?
सर लॉ एक मीन्स है, ऑर्डर एक एंड है। हमें अल्टीमेटली ऑर्डर चाहिए, पर जैसे गांधी जी ने कहा है कि बिना राइट मीन्स यूज करके आप एंड शॉर्ट टर्म में ले सकते हैं, पर लॉन्ग टर्म में उसके बहुत बुरे कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज होंगे सर।
ओके, थैंक यू कार्तिक, थैंक यू, दैट्स
Thank
ऑल
you,
फ्रॉम
sir.
माय साइड।
Karthik, you just mentioned that if you are made the PM, you would handle economic recovery differently. Please tell me what different would you do to handle economic recovery?
Ma'am, first thing is to get economy back in shape, there are four basic engines of any economic growth, ma'am. Consumption, investment, government expenditure and export. So present focus has been on somewhat tilted towards capital expenditure, as was also witnessed in budget 2021, ma'am. Rather, I believe what is need of the hour is to boost income in the hands of people.
So, what is your opinion on universal basic income?
Yes, ma'am. That is one idea worth exploring, ma'am. At least some wider scale pilot projects could be undertaken for this, because that has many benefits over the present system.
Would they motivate certain section of society to not work?
Yes, ma'am. It could be the negative repercussion of this, but equally there are many positives also, ma'am.
Okay, Karthik, you have passed out from IIT Bombay. We recently saw a documentary of one of the IITs where we see increasing rate of suicide amongst students in IITs. Please give me 3 reasons that you feel you have personally experienced which are leading to such a trend.
Ma'am, first is although there is not much academic pressure, but pressure from the parents to succeed academically,
Okay.
to get high CGPA. So that is one reason. Second reason is because of breakups and all these things. Also, many a times depressions I have witnessed in IITs, love affairs, breakups, etc.
But that's in every college.
Yes, ma'am. It is universal, but equally applicable in IITs
Okay.
as well. Ma'am.
Third,
These are the 2 reasons which I
Okay.
could think of.
should there be sick leaves for mental health?
Ma'am, I don't think there should be such provision, because although there is noble intention behind this, but also it could be misused heavily, ma'am. Because mental disorder is something which I can claim. Like, I can claim that I have depression, and it could not be also clinically proved. So that could be heavily misused, ma'am.
Okay, since you're already in police services, women in police are generally accused of hyper masculinity. What is your opinion on that? The idea of a police personnel that even a child has is, tall, maybe mustache, maybe someone who has all manly kind of features. What do you think, women in police, should they fall into this idea or should they change this idea?
Ma'am, seeing the present trend, yes, I have also personally observed this hypermasculinity trend, but I think this should be changed, ma'am. What is required really into the policing, basic idea of bringing more women into the police force is to bring responsiveness and deal citizens with sensitivity, ma'am. So that is why this whole idea of masculine idea, associating that with police, needs to be changed, ma'am.
According to you, what is the hardest part of being a police officer, since you want to become an administrator and not a police officer? So tell me, what is the hardest part of being a police officer?
Ma'am, 24/7 one has to be available on duty, and emergency.
But that
at
is
any
similar
time.
if you become a district collector.
Yes, ma'am, but still the work profile of administrator and police is vastly different. Here, emergency could be at any time, whereas being an administrator, there are limited forms of emergency, and that too doesn't frequently occur, ma'am.
Okay, can you name 5 women leaders in the world internationally for me? Not Indian, outside India.
Ma'am, one is Mrs. Geeta Gopinath, IMF chief economist.
She's Indian origin. I don't want to know Indian origin people.
Ma'am, one is Miss Hillary Clinton in
Okay.
US. Second is Miss Aung San Suu Kyi of Myanmar.
Okay.
Third is, I'm forgetting the name, but New Zealand Prime Minister.
Okay.
Fourth is Sweden Prime Minister. Again, I am forgetting the name, ma'am.
Okay.
These are the four I could think of right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kartik, you know, this colonial history worldwide has been there, and there has been a colonial school of history writing also, which is basically focused on demoralizing a society so as to easily rule them. So, what has been the colonial history of India?
Sir, colonial history.
History writing, rather, not colonial history, colonial history writing in India.
Sir, colonial history writing. Sorry, sir, may I get clarification? Are you talking about history written by colonial writers or present day?
Colonial writers.
Sir, colonial writers have majorly depicted India in a negative light, whereas Great Britain, the then, in a positive light. Like I had come across one writing whereby deliberately they kept Indian map smaller, whereas UK was shown in a bigger size in a world map. So, through such manipulation, they wanted to prove a point that we are bound to rule you. So, that is one instance. Another is they artificially divided the Indian history. Like ancient period belongs to Hindu, Islamic period for medieval time. So, such through artificial compartmentalization, they have divided the society, sir.
Apart from them, they also glamorized and put in a that is supremacy of the foreigners which defeated India, and discredited the Indian culture, Indian ideas, Indian institutions. So in this context, there is a debate going on that we should, if we want to make Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat, we need to rewrite history to serve our national interest, so as to enhance the morale of the Indian citizens. In this context, there is a debate going on in Rajasthan about the Battle of Haldi Ghati. What is your perception about that battle and outcome of the battle?
Sir, I am not recalling Battle of Haldi Ghat precisely, so I don't think I would be able to comment.
Battle of Haldi Ghati was fought between the forces of Akbar and Rana Pratap. And the colonial history is that Rana Pratap was defeated by the forces of Akbar. Now the nationalist historians are claiming that Rana Pratap won that battle.
Sir, I think amidst this debate, we should go after archaeological evidences, sir. So we could refer to multiple history books written by various accounts, be it Indians, be it outsiders. Every account we should go through, as well as other archaeological evidences if available, and then we should take a call, sir, whether to rewrite the history or not. And this history rewriting should not be suitable to the present political regime of the day, sir. Rather, it should reflect the true account of what happened in the past, so that it could serve future generations as well as to what mistakes were committed, what were the positives, etc., sir, in that battle.
What mistakes, according to your opinion, was committed by Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru in unification of India?
Sir, one mistake which I personally feel is internationalizing the Jammu and Kashmir issue by getting it into the UNSC, sir. That I feel was a mistake, sir.
Now that India is presiding the Security Council, can we utilize this position to correct this mistake?
Sir, now the issue is out of hand, sir, because it has been internationalized since past 7 decades, and we are into the UNSC only for 2 years, and that too we are non-permanent members, sir, do not have veto power and other special privileges which they get. So I don't think we could at least make an effort, but I don't think whether it will succeed or not, sir.
Okay, nice talking to you, Kartik. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Have your seat. So, how was your performance. How do you rate your performance? You appeared in interview. That means you have appeared twice in interview in UPSC or once?
Yes, sir, twice.
Twice. So what was the score in both the occasions?
Sir, 160 and 171.
First time 160, second time 171.
Yes, sir.
Not bad. But I think you need more and you deserve also more marks. What happened that day?
Sir, during 160, the time when I got 160, there were few uncomfortable questions asked about diamond industry. I was really grilled into that. So that way I could not manage it well. In 171 it went well. It was smooth, but I don't know why 171 I got.
So, and this time your mains was is better than last year or almost same?
Yes, sir. I hope so, that it was better.
Will be getting extra 10, 15, 20 marks?
Sir, actually I need only 1 mark. 2 times I am missing IAS by 1 mark.
Oh.
Since last 2 times this is happening.
So whether it comes through mains or interview, wherever it comes.
I require edge in interview, sir, because mains my score has been decent. But in interview it is average, 160, 171.
Okay. See, your performance is good. We discussed on many count. And of course, we could also see some scope for improvement. Your performance should be in the range of 180 to 200. That means in that range you can easily achieve. A couple of points you have just to be careful about. Apart from this non-verbal element, like there is some hand movement that we can avoid. And the dress you are planning to have this dress only?
No, sir, I'll wear tie and suit.
Okay, you'll be wearing tie and suit.
Yes, sir.
Shoe also I hope would be different.
Yeah. I would wear Oxford
So
shoes.
this part you will take care.
Yes, sir.
See, there are many positive things. Your entry is good. You have been taught by somebody, or you have a firm opinion that whatever the time, what is the time of interview? Morning or?
Morning, sir.
Morning. This is why you are practicing good morning. On both occasions, you greeted the members with good morning rather than good afternoon.
Sorry, sir, I was not aware of the time, that's why.
Okay.
Because I have given 2 mocks in the morning and it was good morning there, so...
And your actual interview is also in the morning.
Yes, sir.
So fine. So that part you have to be careful, but it's morning is fine. Another thing is that there is some hand movement. If you can help it stabilize, it's better. Otherwise, it's not very disturbing. Your texture of voice is quite soft. Is it your natural voice or?
Yes, sir. It is my natural voice only.
Okay. So if you can like a little bit louder, that means 10%, if you can raise your voice,
Okay,
that will provide more emphatic sense and more clarity.
Okay, sir.
On content and positioning, that is on 2 issues which I think you should watch your video and be careful. On social sensitivity issue like suicide and there are other issues, you think over it. You did not look as sensitive as you are expected to as an IPS officer. You are expected to be more sensitive.
Okay, sir.
And more creative in expressing as to how to handle these issues. So think over it. That is point number 1. And another is that on Jammu and Kashmir, 2 different members asked your opinion of 2 different leaders. Your opinion about the policy of Nehru with respect to Jammu and Kashmir, and your opinion about policy of present Prime Minister. And on both the point you were critical. So if you can have a very sound logic, that's fine. You can take that stand, because there could be some counter question. There may be some grilling kind of things. So think over it, that if this kind of question is raised, you'll have the same stand and same position, or you'll slightly modify it to make it politically more correct.
Okay, sir.
Because it is factually also not right to squarely blame an individual, Mr. Nehru or Mr. Modi. You know that in a democratic setup, policies are not formulated by individuals. This is a collective responsibility and there is collective power. So we can't, if we have to set an accountability, We can't set accountability on the basis of individual kind of things. So that is not advisable. Think over it and have it more acceptable kind of expression. Similarly, there were a couple more issues where your opinions were good, but because you have to score you have to make an improvement over the score, you expect it to be more impressive in an idea. For example, I asked you cultural and social hazards of development. Now, you took a phrase, you picked up a fact which can instigate some controversy. Though there are complaints about the statue of Patel and displacement of tribal people, but that issue has been nationalized. That means that's a very big issue. So if you quote that example, there may emerge some counter questions. Okay.
Okay.
So overall impression comes through entire discussion that you are not very comfortable with the policies of the present government. That should be avoided.
I'll keep it in mind, sir.
Watch the video.
Okay, sir.
Crisscross for the questions. But overall, performance, of course, is very impressive. These couple of points where I think we should invite your attention so as to have a relook over. Other things are very good. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.